Hey, this is a video response to Falco, Darwin Vorbis's How to Get Started in Game Development. I watched his series and I've been following his advice. Quick, my background real quickly. I'm not completely new to programming. I did do some Python programming when I was in college. Do work in IT, or did work in IT, up until February when I retired early because of taking care of my daughter. So I'm not completely new to the concept of development or technology in general. I've always been interested in it, and I kind of lurk on different game development forums, kind of the Chaos Rift and whatnot, watching other people make games and kind of going, that's cool, but yeah, I really can't do that. Well, you know, after watching Falco and his crew and them, busted out some serious code, and several others, there's a lot of indie game development that goes on YouTube, and there's too many names really to list off the top of my head, but I follow most of your channels. I decided to give it a try, and I did what Falco said, which was to get a book and learn. I was interested in targeting Android. I had an Android phone. I have an iPhone in the house too, but primarily I'm interested in the possibilities in making games and high quality stuff for the Android market, because it's a little less restrictive and less expensive than developing for iOS, since iOS requires you to own a Mac. iOS requires you to pay $99 a year, and you have to pay another $99 if you want to target the Mac platform as well. So when you start adding up all the different costs, Mac hardware is not cheap. I mean, I know you can go and you could build yourself a Hackintosh, but I mean, if you're going to develop on something, you want it to be stable. And to me, Hackintoshes don't appear to be very stable, and they have problems with updating, and the hardware, from what I understand, is kind of picky. So I didn't want to go through all of that. And I don't have, $2,000 to drop on a decent Mac right now. I did buy a Mac Mini during the course of all this to get because I started getting interested in Unity, which is another story entirely. But I've had to put that on hold. Finances don't really allow me to drop $800 on the two packages I'd want for Unity, plus $500 to $1,000 to get a Mac Mini and everything up to speed. So I'm taking kind of the cheap route, so it's going to be kind of slow. I'm not doing this to get rich anyway, so it doesn't really matter. This is something I'm doing for me, not really to prove I could be a multi-millionaire or something. I don't really think that. If you're into this to make money, I really think you're into game development for the wrong reasons, because it's not a money thing. It really isn't. It's a kind of a passion thing. I have some ideas that I want to see in games that I don't see, and instead of whining and bitching and moaning that developers out there aren't making the games I want to play, well, I'll just make them my damn self. And if other people want to play them, and they want to pitch 99 cents on the Android market towards me, hey, if I make enough money to take my wife out to dinner, I think that I'm a rock star. So anyways, back to the response to Falco. Did what you said, work through this book. 21 days is a lie, by the way. If you really want to learn, kind of just scratch that out. And yes, it is Java, and I know that you kind of said why Java, and Android, that's why Java. There are ways to write in C and C++ on Java, but you have to, or on Android. And from what I understand, though, you have to target specific hardware, and I wanted to target more than just one platform through Android. I wanted to be able to give what I'm doing to a lot of different people, so there's lots of people that can potentially enjoy what I make. So I did learn Java. It took me, let's see, I bought this book in February. It took me about 3 months to really get started on it, so May-ish, June-ish, I actually really got serious about it, and I just now finished it yesterday. And I'm not a slow reader. I mean, I can read most fiction pretty easily. I can finish a 500-page book in a day, but this stuff's a lot more dense, and never being exposed to object-oriented concepts, never being exposed to any sort of modularity in code. I took it slow, and I actually tried to learn it. And one of the ways I tried to learn it was, as I was going through the book, I didn't just use the author's examples. I didn't just copy and paste code. I looked at it and went, hey, I wonder what I could do with that. And I started thinking about what sort of project I'd want to do using Java. And the project I came up with was a text-based RPG, like the old Buds or Zork, that sort of stuff from like way back in the day. And I'm a big D&D guy. I love pen and paper RPGs. So I thought doing a pen and paper kind of RPG using Java, it won't be that hard, and doesn't involve me having to learn any graphics libraries. I'm just learning Java. But it gives me something fun to do, so it's not just, hey, look, I did this program and it's asking for my name, or it's saying hello world. I mean, seriously, that's boring. So I did. I made a game. It's real simple. Had a combat engine. I learned some of the basic Java utility classes, random stuff like that. Make a die roller. And in the end, it was pretty cool. It just simulated walking through a pretty basic dungeon, attacking some goblins along the way, getting some loot. Had a character generator. I may actually post it at some point, the finished product that I did go through. I'm been thinking about some of the design decisions I made when I made that program, and I'd like to go back and put some modularity into it. But anyways, I want to say, listen to what Falco has to say when he says that you can do it, but you just have to take it slow. I mean, if I said, yeah, I'm going to learn 3D programming in a year and put out my next super MMO, fat chance of that guy. Good luck trying. I learned this, and it took me, 3 months of hard studying after really knowing how to program. I mean, I understood lists and loops and logical structures before I even picked this book up. So I wasn't completely like, I've never seen programming before. And I've been through college, so I have some advanced math that I have taken, college trig and whatnot, pre-calc. So I was able to understand the math and whatnot that goes in behind the scenes in the programming. My next goal after I did this is I picked up a book by Mario Zechner called Beginning Android Games, and it's a pretty cool book. He takes you through kind of step by step, starting you out with real basic low-level games. You do like a snake game, kind of like Nibbles, and you move up from there to a platform jumper. And I followed his examples and have learned some basic OpenGL. ES. Not really super good at it yet, but I'm working on it. I've got bits and pieces of an engine that I've been putting together, and just yesterday I kind of looked back and looked and went, I've got a full 2D game engine pretty much right here. From taking the code and stuff that he's given, plus the stuff that I've modified and added, because what he gives you is incomplete code. It'll run a game, but he has like no exceptions, no error handling. There's a lot of like little tweaks and stuff that I've done along the way. So I went, I could probably make a 2D platformer out of this, so that's my next goal. I'm going to make a 2D platformer. Like Falco says, start with Pong. I made a Pong clone. I did make the snake game, so I made a simple 2D that was using the canvas, not using OpenGL. And then now I'm working on an actual OpenGL project. But, I'm not going to be able to put out something phenomenal still for a while, and that's after spending 8 months learning Java and learning a little bit of OpenGL and stuff. So if you're expecting to be able to make an amazing game in 30 days or 21 days, it ain't gonna happen. It's gonna take time. It's gonna take commitment. Little personal side note on that is I actually started a little project called Delve, which is an RPG that I really want to make. It's a 2D RPG, and I got all excited about it, and I've got the storyline and everything figured out, and started building the basic structure of it. And then I suddenly realized, while I was working through this book and while I was working through Mario's book, is, Falco's right. If you're gonna sit and just dream big, that's cool, but be realistic about it. So I had made a web page and everything, talking about how great Delve was going to be, and it's like, I'm taking all that down. I'm going to work on it. It'll be finished when it's finished. You know, I may make some money if I put it on the various markets for it, but I want to learn first. Learning is the most important thing. Learning first, and then second, I'm not putting anything out on the market that isn't spectacular. I'm not going to put anything out there for people to play that I've made that they can't say that, you know, hey look, man, you know, Obi's done a great job on this. You know, he's really good at what he does. That's more important to me than you know, financial reward. But anyways, thanks guys. Thanks Marcel, thanks Falco, James and Jared, all you guys you've inspired me. And you know, I just wanted you to know that you've inspired a 35-year-old guy to go back to school and try something different. And you might not think that's something big, but it really is. So thanks.